All right, in today's video, we are going to introduce what the Creator Lab has in terms of different heat presses. So heat presses is specifically, as the name says, you're working with heat in order to create things like t-shirts or tote bags such as this, or little pouches, or pretty much anything that you can think of. If you are familiar with the old school version of ironing things onto different items, you'll see the words called blanks a lot. Blanks is anything that you can iron a material on, a photo on, or a fabric on. So in our Creator Lab, we do have three different options for you in terms of a heat press. We have the Cricut Mini Press, we have a standard Cricut Easy Press, and then this is the big machine right here. We actually have two of these, and these are automatic heat presses. The main difference between the three of these are that these two are manual. You do have to put some strength behind it. And this one is fully automatic. So this one will save your arms and it will also save you time, because while this is pressing your material for you, you can continue to work on something else. Now, with that being said, all of these machines are not the plug and play, just turn on, press it and go. They all have different settings, such as temperature settings, time settings, and pressure settings. So it does require you from your end to do your research and your homework, because as I said, these can be used with any kind of iron-on material, which means they all have different settings and they all work a little bit differently. So as much as we would love to be able to tell you, turn it on, set it to this temperature and go, you do have to do your part and do your research. So for myself, what helps is no matter how many t-shirts I press or bags I make, I still find myself going back to my computer to look up the specific material I'm working with and then figure out and ask my computer for help. That's to figure out the settings. And even then, I'm only saying this only to not to discourage you, but just so that you're prepared, so that you don't come in, you make something and you think to yourself, well, that didn't work, because there is trial and error. For whatever reason, not all t-shirts are created equal. So what worked on one t-shirt and another one looks like it's the exact same one may not work. So be okay with that. Do your practice first before you make your final project. So with these three materials, I'm going to show you what you can use with them. The most common one that you're probably familiar with is something that looks like this, and this is called iron-on HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl. You may already have some at home, you may have gotten some with friends, or if you have purchased any of these machines, it may have come with it. So this is something you call heat transfer vinyl. Another option that you can use with these machines is printable iron-on. So this is more for your full color images. If you want to do photographs, if you want to do more detailed images, this is something that you can run through your inkjet printer. So actually for this one, you don't even technically need your Cricut with, because you can print any image on this, cut it out, and you can use any of these three machines to iron onto your blank. And then the newest one that I have been using, which I have been really loving, is something called DTF, which means direct transfer to fabric. And this is not something you can print at home. This is not something you can print on your Cricut. You can design it on your Cricut or any other software that you have with your electronic cutting machine or any other designing software. You send off to a different company and they will print it for you on these special material. And this you can just put directly on top of your blank, use this machines and press it. If you have the time and the finances to do so, I've actually really been loving DTF for mass producing, especially for VBS, Pathfinders, or any large projects. These two is what I would recommend more for if you're just doing a few projects here and there. I have done it before. I have cut out HTV enough to make 150 t-shirts, but it takes a lot of time. Whereas if you order a DTF sheet from a website, even if I needed 500 of these, I would upload it all onto the website. They'll print 500 of these for me. They'll send it back. I cut it out and I press. So speaking of DTF, I am going to show you a couple samples that I have using it. This was DTF. This is what it once was. I pressed it onto this pouch and it transferred beautifully. And same thing with this one. This one is also DTF, but this is also something that you could use heat transfer vinyl for. So I will go ahead and explain to you what I would recommend using each machine for and which of these three materials I would use for different projects.